Hello. Am I audible to you all? Hello. Can we start or we'll wait for some time? What is this noise, please? Can it? Hello. Please mute yourself. If I mute, it will not be looking good. Please. Okay. We'll start or we'll wait for some time. Respond. Am I audible to you all? Hello. Okay. So you people can interact now. Don't waste time. Any doubt if you have, if you want to clarify, you can clarify now. If you want to discuss anything about the subject also, it is open to discuss. Hello. Nice. I'm audible to you. I'm not audible. My
Yeah,
voice
ma'am,
is...
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So let us start, or still we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. We'll wait for some time or we'll start. From your side, work. I'll get confirmation, then only I'll start. I have to get confirmation from your side. Okay, where we have stopped, anyone can remember? Where we stopped? Those who have attended the class in the morning, you people can say where we have stopped in the morning. We have stopped that sun's energy or solar energy which balance the earth's surface temperature at a steady state year to year. That is happening because of some of the radiation is reflected back to the space by the clouds, and some of the radiation is absorbed by the atmospheric gases, and only 45% of solar energy is falling onto the earth's surface. When it falls on the earth's surface, it absorbs and re-radiates back to the space. Because of that, it warms the earth's surface. This warm condition only provides the heat energy to the entire earth. Make use of that heat only. All the activities, living things activities are going on till date. Now the next part of the study, when it heats the earth's surface, what could be the maximum temperature of earth's surface because of this absorption of infrared radiation? How much the earth's surface could be? That was the question I have asked at the last. I am correct? Can you recollect it? Any one of you? Any one of you can confirm this? We have stopped from there only or somewhere else? No?
No, ma'am. Exactly right there.
Exactly. We stopped there
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll come to the point. What is that steady state temperature we'll see on a Earth's surface? So according to the law of dynamics, because these are all important for you to understand the subject. Otherwise, I can say within a second, according to the laws of thermodynamics, the Earth's surface temperature must be this much. Nowadays, this much due to this effect. So globally, it is getting heated up. Global warming has come. So what the climate change is happening, I can confirm it within 1 minute. I can jump it. But the basic funda which I am teaching you now, again repeatedly I am telling you, this will be useful for all the 3 papers or 4 papers. Okay. And so what I'm spending enough time. If you understand the subject, if anyway they will ask the question, you can answer to the question. Okay, what is meant by thermodynamics? It is very common. From schooling onwards, we have studied the same topic, same term you would have been studied. Thermodynamics, law 1, law 2, everything. I'm not asking about the law because remembering of law is quite difficult. But even then, some of them are very common. Conservation of energy and all, it is very common everywhere. You should know that. First, let us know what is thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. You can split and define the meaning. What is thermodynamics? Any one of you can, please? Thermodynamic means what? It is not tough question. It is very easy question. Thermo means what? Thermo means what? No idea? Thermo means what? Dynamics means? Sir, okay, you just tell me the English meaning of it. No need of scientific definition or technical definition. You tell me thermo means what, dynamics mean what? No one is there in class or what? People, are you there or not? Okay, then I myself will talk only. Any one of you can respond? Are you there? Oh, I'm only shouting or what? My Oh, somebody answered that is heat. That is correct. Okay, fine. Thermo means heat. Dynamic means what? Dynamics means what? Thermo means heat. Okay, I accepted and also I appreciate you. That is correct. Very good. What is meant by dynamics? Any one of you, please? What is dynamics? Yes? It's correct. Good. Then what is meant by dynamics? Dynamic means not energy. Thermo means heat. Dynamics means we can say energy changes. Okay. So when we are studying about heat changes, any changes is happening, we are telling that conversion. That purposely we are doing some process from one form to another form, that is conversion. But here it is not conversion. When the conversion is taking place, the energy flow or energy changes will occur. Now the changes in the same form. Okay, if energy is converted to, the heat is converted to some other form, then the energy will come into the picture or we can take it. Here the changes are happening. The same energy is changed from higher level to low level or low level to higher level. that the heat is transferred from high temperature to low temperature area. So the temperature is changing because of heat change. Clear? So that hello? Yes? Any doubt? Any doubt?
काम का बाहर आया हुआ ना अभी आराम नहीं चल रहा है
No, voice is not clear. Somebody is talking and I said, please mute yourself.
करके हम ऐसा सब जगह ना ऐसा स्टिच करके रखा हुआ है मतलब खुलेगा छोटा कम खुलेगा काम का ऐसे ही बाहर है खुलेगा कम
Hello, excuse me.
खुलने का होता है
Please don't. Please mute yourself. Realme RMX 3242. Please mute yourself. Others are getting disturbance. If I will mute, it won't look good. Please. Okay. What I wanted to say that what is the thermodynamic means heat. Dynamic means changes. Heat changes. When we are studying about the heat changes in the system, it could be the open system or it could be the closed system, whatever it may be. Where there is a change of heat occurs when we study about that is called thermodynamics. There are two laws of important laws of thermodynamics. We are not going to talk about that thermodynamics law because it is not included in the syllabus. Personally, if you interest or at the end of the class you ask me, I will explain more. Otherwise, the time is going up waste. So according to the law of thermodynamics, it is predicted that based on the shape and the size of the Earth's surface and the distance between the Earth and the Sun, the temperature of the Earth should be in an average of 18 degrees centigrade. The Earth's surface is supposed to be 18 degrees centigrade, which is based on the distance between the Sun and Earth and the size of the Earth's surface. According to the law of thermodynamics, it was predicted that the surface temperature of Earth is an average of 18 degrees. It should be, or it could be, or it must be. Now, anyone knows what is the surface temperature of Earth nowadays? Any one of you, please? What is the average surface temperature of Earth? Or Earth's surface temperature is how much nowadays? No one can say exact answer. Okay, leave it. Can you say what is the approximate average temperature of the Earth's surface nowadays? We are talking about the global warming. We are talking about the greenhouse gas effect. We are talking about the climate change, everything. So we can accept that the average global temperature might be increased. And how the global surface temperature it could be and why it is, how much it is, I told you. Now, because of all this pollution, how much it could be approximately increased? I told you that because of concentration of carbon dioxide, the global temperature was increased at the rate of 0.6 degree per yesterday's class I said. So if that is the case, the past 300 years or 400 years, including this 21st century, how much could be the average Earth surface temperature? Approximately. You no need to say anything. Specifically, I am not asking. Approximately how much it could be. They are telling 18 degrees centigrade. But if I talk very clearly, the Earth average temperature must be 15 degrees centigrade only. This 18 degrees centigrade, they have considered equator and polar region. Everything. Equator region and other surfaces. When it was included entire globe, including Arctic and Antarctic, this rainforest, tropical rainforest and other area, it was around 15 degree must be the Earth surface temperature. But from that temperature, how much we have varied, how far we are deviated. Because we are telling that the entire atmosphere is spoiled. And all the activities of living things have been changed. Because of this effect only, then we are starting about the global temperature increase and the climate changes are happening. Because of those changes only, All living things activities have changed, we are telling. That is also, of course, correct. So what could be how much it could be the temperature? Okay, I will give small hint. Are you hearing me? And then you people please respond to me. Otherwise, I cannot hear. I myself talk to the system or wall. Respond to me, yes or no. Or if you have difference of opinion, you can argue also. Okay. If you look at your school science book or intermediate physics, chemistry book, if you look at that means, they would have explained some of the reaction at a steady state temperature or standard STP condition, standard pressure, temperature and pressure condition. Is it there? Have you checked in your book? I am talking with you people only. Respond to me. Have you checked statement in your textbook? Hello. If no one is interested means then I will close the class. Did you understand that what I'm speaking? Can you hear my voice? Am I audible to you all? Hello? Very okay, then we'll go ahead. Okay, the average surface temperature is supposed to be 15 degree, but the reason nowadays it is differed. And if you look at your school books, intermediate physics, chemistry book, if you look at me, they would have explained some of the reaction is taking place at STP. STP means standard pressure, temperature and pressure that they have considered around 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, the Earth surface temperature is supposed to be 10 degrees, 15 degree. It could be acceptable up to 18 degree, but the standard temperature and pressure condition they have explained in the textbooks at 25 degrees centigrade. Then how much it is variation? 7 to 10 degree variations are there. So we can't say exactly it is 25 degree. We can say it is around 18 to 22 degrees centigrade changes. But due to that, how much effect is happening, you know that. It is some of the interesting information are available because of this effect. You see. The main reason for the difference in the effect of several gases such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane that trap enough heat to warm the Earth's surface. And because of that, only the Earth's surface temperature is. All these gases are available already in atmosphere. But all these gases trap the incoming solar radiation because they are available in the space or atmosphere. When the process is happening continuously, the surface temperature started increases. Evidence from the ancient ice and deep ocean sediments, which illustrates natural variability in the Earth's surface, which leads to the climate system over a geological time. The majority current acceleration of your warming trend have been driven by this anthropogenic activity, which is nothing but burning of fossil fuels, addition of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Since the industrial revolution is taking place further. From 18th century onwards, it is after independence that the industrial revolution is started develop. Then what will happen? The temperature reading reveals that the global mean surface temperature has increased by 0.6 degrees centigrade during the 20th century. Even a single degree change in temperature, which could serve impacts on the Earth's surface and its entire ecosystem. And very important and also the major threat or the problem from this rise of temperature is the sea level has risen up between 10 centimeter to 20 centimeter in the 20th century due to the melting of glacier and polar ice, as well as the thermal expansion of ocean water is taking place due to the inverse nature of the sea ice temperature and sea ice thickness. which can be used as an indicator of how the warming could be. If the temperature is not increased, means the polar ice and ancient glacier that may not be melted. If it melts, means we cannot give that external heat to melt that much huge ice. Globally, when the temperature increases very high level, that could not be bear in polar region, then only the temperature, then only the ice start melts. You know that what could be the temperature in polar region. It starts melts, mean how much temperature it could be globally increased, you can imagine it. Then what about the equator? You can't even think about it. Then what is happening? According to the Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change, which is reported that from that forum, it is reported that the thickness of sea ice in the Arctic has declined by 42% since it was observed in 1950s. It could, how much it is, 42% means it is not small. Many feet of water level must be increased in sea due to this. Because of that, many lying area would have been immersed in water. What area we know, but it must be happened. In that, no doubt at all. Because if there is an increase of 10 to 20 centimeter water means, it is not easy, that much easy one. And 42% decline of ice thickness means we do not know total. 50% if it happen also, we could. And the melting of Arctic ice due to this change, what will happen? Melting of Arctic ice, Arctic sea ice. One second, it is interrupted. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. Melting Arctic ice may also eventually lead to the global changes in the ocean thermohaline circulation. Thermohaline circulation means the temperature increases, alkalinity has changed because both the effect is happening at a time. That is called thermohaline circulation. And because of this, the entire aquatic population in the sea would have been affected, and which is driven by the difference in temperature and salinity of water. And how many effects? Now, the polar ice has been declined to 42% in Arctic region, and 10 to 20 centimeter of ice thickness has been reduced, and it has been, sea level has been increased to 10 to 20 centimeter means how much water we can't imagine. It is throughout the sea level. So how many low-lying areas immersed in water, we do not know. And out of everything, there is a thermohaline circulation which affects the aquatic population in the ocean. Okay. Then how the anthropogenic influences on this climate change? We know that we know that especially from the fossil fuel combustion, for energy purpose people are burning. Through that, it contributes 2/3 of the greenhouse gases emission into the atmosphere. If during the process of extraction, processing, transporting, distributing, and burning of fossil fuel, all contribute the significant emission of CO2 into the atmosphere. But along with that, the land use changes, that is deforestation. Fossil fuels have caused atmospheric concentration of carbon dioxide to rise by 30%. The average growth of CO2 emission from energy use alone between 1970 to 1998 was around 1.9% per year, they said. But the scenario modeled by the Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, which foresee the cumulative release ranging from approximately 1,000 to 2,200 gigatons of carbon if there are no measures taking place while burning the fossil fuels for power generation. During that process alone, this much greenhouse gases are emitted. And the key drivers for energy, this is very important. It is not that this is the reason for burning of most fossil fuels. When they are burning, obviously the pollutant must be more. But what is the key reason responsible for the burning of fossil fuel is the energy use include population growth, urbanization, total gross domestic product, income, and the energy intensity of equipment and vehicles, among the others. These drivers are in turn influenced by the change in consumer preferences, energy and technology costs, settlement and infrastructure patterns, technical progress, and even the economic condition. These are all the important reasons. The one or other way we have to find out to develop ourselves. The direct effect of land use and land use change and the response of terrestrial ecosystem which fertilize with more carbon dioxide and nutrient deposition, climate variation, and a disturbance, that is fire or major droughts may exacerbate the adverse effect of anthropogenic CO2 emissions. Due to this, the limited information on forest and agricultural land use management practices, global estimates of carbon dioxide emissions, it could be measured from the land use change and which tend to be based on entirely on the deforestation, afforestation values. Moreover, these net values are generally based on the average figure for carbon storage per hectare of forest. Notwithstanding the limited uncertainties, anthropogenic greenhouse gases are thought to have a positive radioactive forcing effect. So the greater concentration of these gases creates an enhanced greenhouse effect by absorbing more infrared radiation from the Earth's surface, thereby it increasing the mean global surface temperature, which is nothing but global warming. When mean global surface temperature is increasing means, we know that if the temperature is increases, according to the ideal gas law, we know the formula PV equal to nRT, where P is the pressure, V is volume, N is number of molecule, R is universal gas constant, and T is the temperature. If the T is increasing means proportionally P also supposed to be increased. And because PV is directly proportional to RT, then PV equal to nRT, N is number of molecules, we know that. So if the temperature increases mean obviously pressure also increases. When these two things are happening parallelly, then when the movement of gases are taking place from higher pressure area to the lower pressure area. When it happens like that, whatever the monsoon rain we supposed to get, we won't get the monsoon rain at the right time. If we are not getting the monsoon rain at right time, then obviously due to the flow of this or movement of this higher atmospheric gas temperature, then the surface temperature started increases due to the no rain condition or low rain condition. Then wherever the things supposed to be promoted in one area, it will be postponed to the next season. When it happens, during the rainy season, rain must be there. If it is not happening, then agriculture practices, the people started having a later stage. When it happened in the latter stage, because of that, the production level will be reduced. Monsoon condition supports the growth of plants. If it is not happening at the right time, it affects the growth and yield of the plant. If these two are affected, means the productivity will go down. When the productivity will go down, means we cannot meet the demand from the agriculture or food demand. When it is happening, then there is a huge flow of difference of opinion is caused in terms of rate on the food product, and the availability of food product will be less. Due to that, the cost will be increased. So the middle class people and low class people will be affected. These are all the consequence process because of this climate change. The major problem of climate change, once it is affected, means we cannot get back it. Like ecosystem, how the ecosystem problem, once the ecosystem or chain, food chain or any carbon nitrogen, oxygen, nitrogen cycle breaks means, again it cannot be continued. It happens continuously, at the end result is it destroys or the system is totally destroyed. That is the problem of this kind of what we can say unfavorable condition caused in atmosphere by human activities. Hello? People are there? Are you responding to me? Can you interact with me? How many of you are there? No one is there. Hello? Okay, if some of you will respond, then I will start talk. Otherwise, I'm talking with the group. Can you hear my voice? Hello? If any one of you will talk, then only I will talk with the people. Otherwise, I will talk by my own. Is it clear? Okay. So, when we are talking about this anthropogenic influence of climate change, influence on the climate change, everywhere we are talking about the carbon dioxide only. So, how we can reduce this carbon dioxide? So, we are talking about all the entire problem. At last, it affects that air pollution affect the water, air pollution affects the heritage building and plants, animal living things, including human being. About everything we are talking, all the problems are coming, we are telling. At last, I would like to ask you that the end of the net result of pollution is which affect the ecosystem. When it affects the ecosystem, it breaks the cycle here and there. Then the system which leads the endangering of species or artificial fertilization or eutrophication, and which makes this, because of eutrophication, what will happen? The species exclusion will come, and many species because of poison will be died. Many problems will come. At last, this now it increases the global surface temperature and atmosphere temperature. When it increases both, it totally affects the global by increasing of temperature, which makes ozone hole. And now, because of all these things, consequently, it affects our climate. Climate means climate change is happening. Once the climate change is happened, entire operation of Earth, the natural atmosphere is affected. Because of that, we, a human being, are living things only directly affected, not indirect effect. Directly affected. Clear? So for everything, for all these problems, the culprit is, we are telling, carbon dioxide emission only. So now I given this project to people. What is the basic idea? What could be done to reduce? I'm not saying that completely eliminate the carbon dioxide emission. What could be followed to reduce the emission of carbon dioxide? If you people have any idea, you can tell me also, or you can post it in the chat also. What could be the idea? What can be done to reduce the CO2 emission into the atmosphere?
Growing plants.
Okay. Then? What else? What is the main source of CO2 emission? Afforestation, that is also good. Good idea. Everything I have told you, people would have absorbed me nicely, you could answer. Afforestation
Stopping
is
fossil fuels, use of fossil fuels.
it's a stopping fossil fuel, then what do? Are you not ready to use your electricity, vehicles? Nothing. You don't want to use your fridge, you don't want to use your AC, don't want to use your all electronic gadgets, whatever you have at your home, or you don't want to use whatever the public or personal transport facilities are available. What you don't want, then we can repress. Which one we want to miss out?
Shift from non-renewable to renewable resources.
So will it meet the demand? Yeah, that is all. These are all the alternative. I really appreciate you people. You are thinking to some level to answer. I really appreciate you. Very good. Yeah, we can switch over. We cannot switch over or shifting. We can replace to some extent. Okay, that's what in the morning I told you. You can use the solar energy to some extent because throughout the world we cannot expect the same quantity or intensity of solar radiation availability. Even if you take the wind also, only in coastal areas you can get enough wind flow or wind speed. Make use of that, you can generate the energy that will be sufficient for that particular region only. And similarly, if you take biomass also, you can use it for both gaseous substitution and electricity generation to some extent, which cannot meet the demand. Okay, these are all an alternative. I agree with you people. Anything else? Very good. Anything else? You know that the recent information has given India is only the country globally. The afforestation project has been succeeded. Increase around 23.4 to 24% of forestry through the afforestation process. So which will be increased means the soil erosion, depletion of nutrients, and the carbon storage, nitrogen. So everything will be improvised to some extent. Okay. My question is how you can reduce. I myself tell you that 100% you cannot stop emission of CO2. That no point at all to talk about. My question is how you can reduce the CO2 emission. Yes. You get some idea. The people, those who are having the habit of reading the newspaper, having the habit of involving in scientific forum, those people may have some idea about it. But if you think you can get an idea, this is very good. Even if you have any idea, you can, if you write the project on this particular aspect, you will get it immediately also. It won't get delayed. Immediately they will sanction this project because the entire world is concentrating on carbon storage only. For to reduce the carbon dioxide accumulation in the atmosphere or earth. They are finding out the option, way, how we can reduce. If you people suggest anything more, these are all the things available on the book we can read and tell. That we don't want. We wanted to get some idea. Yes. Yeah, you people have, you can flood it up. I'll give 5 more minutes to discuss. Yes. Yes, any sort of information? Any sort of ideas? If you are not ready to tell, you can put it in chat also. No issue. Everybody is talking about. So global warming and climate change, once it happen, it cannot be recovered back. Once the damage, it means it is damaged only. It cannot be cured. It cannot be recovered. We cannot regenerate also. Okay, something is broken. If we stitch something also, it looks like a broken one only. At any time, anything may happen. We know that. Even for the cloth case. When we have certain experience, how we can think about it? The ecosystem is broken or the environment, our atmosphere is totally affected, and which leads one by one, one by one. Earlier days, we said the building is corroded, the heritage buildings has gone, it cannot be repaired. And they said the statues, sculptures, everything is spoiled. And because of pollution, human health is affected. Because of air pollution, this many people are dying, but no one is bothering about, isn't it? You know that India is the second place or fifth place in population died by the air pollution. I think second place. Check second place or fifth place. Anyone? I'll confirm in the next class. And they said like this, and which causes many diseases which could not be cured like that. And they said it is slowly affecting the plants. And yesterday I told you, then they have indirectly handled as fossil fuel depletion. And after that, they said ozone is depleting, through that ultraviolet radiations are coming. And all this happening because of greenhouse effect, followed by greenhouse effect promotes the global warming. Now the global warming is changing the climate. That is the cycle. We can say that a butterfly effect. Butterfly effect means what? One starts, from that to next one, from that to next one, next one, next one. If positive means only positive effect will be there. Negative means only the negative effect will be there. Got it? Now we are talking about the negative things, so only negative effects will be there. That is called a positive butterfly. This butterfly effect is keep on continuing. Now we reached to the end of the problem, that is our global warming and climate change. Then that is totally disrupted. Then we have to live in the poisonous world only. We may get food, we may not get. If we get also, that won't be the quality food. Now, I'm not saying in terms of availability, cleaning, washing, appearance. I'm saying in terms of naturality. Okay, people saying naturopathy. Naturopathy means there will not be any adulteration. They will give the pure and cure product to cure anything which does not have any negative impact on the living things. That's what we are trusting on the naturopathy. We are following up. That system will be destroyed or it will be contaminated by all these effects, whatever we have mentioned. This stage only we have reached now. For all this, the reason behind that is air pollution. And in that, among everything, the main contributor is carbon dioxide, they are telling. Okay. Question, what I have asked, the same question I am posting. How you can reduce the carbon dioxide emission? We can stop the fossil fuel. Can you stay at home without power at least one whole day, 24 hours? You cannot touch your mobile first. You cannot touch your TV first. You cannot switch on your light and fan. Okay, other sophisticated things, you leave it. These four things are becoming the essential commodity in life, for life. Isn't it? And without a TV and mobile, you can. Without light and fan, can you? If you can also, how many days? That for all this, you need to have power. If you have power, then you must have the problem of CO2. So this you want means that also must be there. You want that power, but you don't want CO2. So what you can do, tell me. Time is up. If you are not answering, then I will go to the next topic.
Ma'am, we can go with hydroelectric generation, hydroelectricity or solar energy.
That's what I told you, na ma'am. We can go. Those are all an alternative. We cannot completely replace it. Okay, we can substitute to some extent. Hydropower stations are available in India, but we cannot fulfill the demand, no, through that. Solar energy is there. I told you now 10 minutes before. Solar energy can be harnessed through different way for thermal application also and for the electrical application also. Throughout the year, 365 days, is solar energy available in India? Most of the days, 300 days is available. Okay, I agree. What about your north region, your hill station, and east and west region below the Himalayas in India? And also, what about the Arctic and Antarctic in the world? You just tell me, okay, desert area, fine, you can generate. Got it? And one more thing, whatever the power you are generating from the solar energy, that is DC current, you can store in the form of AC only. And we can't say exactly that AC again it is converted into DC. And again, when we are getting, you have to get it in the form of AC only. Okay, we cannot store more than that. So what could be done? These are all alternative energy sources. All renewable energy sources are alternative, which can meet the demand to some extent, but which cannot be fulfill our demand. If we combine all the renewable energy sources also, if we combine solar, wind, bio, hydro, everything we combine also, it could not be fulfilled even one state in India. If we fulfill also, it could not be leading for quite a long time. It may be for a short period of time. That during only the winter, summer season, enough solar radiation and wind must be there, you can. But throughout the year, you cannot. That also one regional demand, regional wise you can supply. You cannot supply for the entire country. Okay, good. Anyhow, you people are thinking and interacting. Anything else? Anyone could be? Anything else? Hello. Okay. Can I answer? I mean, no one is there. Can I
Yes,
answer to?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, it is quite difficult and it is not possible. But some of the technique like alternative energy sources, the footprint can be made it up by storing of carbon in the form of direct carbon, not in the form of carbon dioxide. It is called carbon sequestration. The carbon sequestration means the carbon could be stored in the soil or anywhere else, which will be retaining for a long time and which should not give any negative impact to the environment. You can say ecosystem and environment, and which serves only the positive attributes, means that will be good. So that's what people are using. The carbon which is supposed to contain a large quantity of volatiles So we can make the carbon as a soft carbon. Those carbon, when you are spread in the soil, those because of that presence of that soft carbon, it makes the soil to be loosened. When the soil is loosened, means it avoids or removes the anaerobic condition. Then the soil denitrification condition will be minimized. So there will not be escaping of any nitrogenous fertilizer from the soil. And the exchange, nutrient exchange capacity or cation exchange capacity between the soil and plant is very, very important for absorbing of nutrient from the soil to the plant, and also transporting of these nutrients from plant root to the entire part of the plant. That is called cation exchange capacity. That will be improvised. When the organic carbon is more in the supplied carbon, means which could be the food for useful microorganism in the soil. So the microbial population will be developed, which promotes the absorption of or absorbing of more nitrogen from the atmosphere, then which enhance the growth of plant and also increase the yield. And it is not only in terms of increasing the production of agriculture product, which also maintain the quality of the soil. That is called a soil amendment. So this carbon, soft carbon with more volatile carbon, which serves like a soil amendment, which protect the soil quality and increase the soil performance to grow the plants, and also maintain the quality of quantity of demanding of food products from the agriculture. Moreover, the emission of the carbon to the atmosphere is minimized, not completely removed, it is minimized. This is one of the alternative to reduce the carbon. Now you understand. People have any doubt, means you can ask me. If it's clear, I leave it. We'll jump to the next level. Or it is not clear, means you ask me, I will explain again. Okay, I could accept that everyone understood nicely. Okay, I have taken like that. I will go to the next level. So now whatever we have discussed, from that we could understand that the anthropogenic activities are the main factor to influence the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere, which leads the global warming. The global through the greenhouse effect by absorbing more infrared radiation from the Earth atmosphere, thereby which increasing the mean global surface temperature. Due to that, the movement of gases from the high temperature to the low temperature, high pressure to low pressure area, the movement is happening, which changes the direction of wind flow, which is required for the monsoon rain, that will be changed. Due to that change, we are not getting the rain at the correct time. The monsoon rain is being changed. Due to that, the rainfall is reduced. Then whatever the mentioned problem is attributed. The rain means then our entire agriculture practices is changed. Then the agriculture production is reduced. Then rate of the food product has been increased. Then what we can say, whatever the problem, wherever the people are living like lower poverty level, they are not getting the required food products. Then the issue will be the big issue in the entire country, not only in India, everywhere the same thing. That is the problem of entire global warming through greenhouse effect, which implicates on the climate change. Clear? Now they may ask the question on climate change. The climate change attributes covers the three important factors, that is solar radiation, which maintain the global energy balance or natural energy balance on Earth's surface, and how it is distributes we have seen. And the next one is greenhouse effect is a natural process. How what happened, I told you, because of greenhouse effect, how the earth surface is getting heated up and why it is important, I said, because of rising of some of the concentration of these gases will absorb more radiation, and which could be the reason for increasing global temperature. What could be the global temperature? 18 degree, but actually it should be 15 degree. Nowadays it is being reported around 25. Actually, earlier days itself, when in 19th century itself, people have started using this STP condition at 25 degree. It would be from 18 to 24, 25, 26 lecture of atmosphere. That is also earlier stage. They are confirming that due to the use of fossil fuels or anthropogenic activities, only this greenhouse gases are concentrating in the atmosphere. Due to that, global warming is coming, then it reflects the climate change. That because of absorption of this radiation from the atmosphere by these gases, the global surface temperature is increased at the rate of 0.6 degree centigrade per year, per decades, actually per decades. When it happens like this, and when we are thinking about this climatic system, Earth climate system, and the emission is not only from that, the industrial revolution also, it is very important from the 18th century onwards or 19th century onwards. In 20th century, it is matured, and in 21st century, it is modernized. That is the development in industrial revolution. When we discuss everything, at last we conclude that because of this global rising, how the polar rise, Arctic, Antarctic, what happened in ice thickness, because of the ice thickness declination, how it is affect the seawater level, because of seawater level changes, how this thermohaline impact will be there, that affect the aquatic population, and also this declination on the sea level will be, ice level will be reflecting on the lower, some of the lower lying area must be or maybe or might be immersed in water. How many countries or cities or villages or how many islands are immersed in water, that we do not know, but that happened really. Clear? And out of that, how these anthropogenic sources are responsible or influence on climate change. We are telling that we wanted to have power, so we are depending on energy. When we are using developing all electronic items technologically, and it needs to use with energy only, electrical power. When we wanted to use, which is supposed to emit 2/3 of the greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Among them, when it is happening during all the process of fuel handling from the drilling to distribution, in each stage, the carbon dioxide is evolved. Carbon dioxide is flowing from one ecosystem to another ecosystem. When it is happening and it is distributed and converts from one form to another form, in each and every stage, wherever you are handling like that, the CO2 emission must be there to the atmosphere. And not only this, even the land use pattern, afforestation process, and many other activities, landfill, all those things are emitting some gases, and everything all together, it is being accounted that from 1971 to 2000, within those 3 years, it was accounted 1.9% of CO2 must be emitted from only the fossil fuels. But according to the IPCC, they have reported that 1,000 to 2,200 gigatons of carbon must be emitted from only fossil fuel without introducing any control measures. And the carbon dioxide must be, along with the deforestation and land use pattern, along with the fossil fuel burning, around 30 to 35% of carbon dioxide is contributed to the atmosphere. And the rest of the things, the carbon storage, how it could be measured, that is very important. Then only you can influence your afforestation, deforestation contribute concept of how it is influenced on the carbon dioxide storage, you can understand. when talking about this carbon dioxide liberation or emission or losses from the atmosphere, it could be lead to the land use, and based on the entire land use, net deforestation, afforestation values. Moreover, these net values are generally based on the average figure of carbon storage per hectare of forest through the afforestation process. And deforestation of how much it has happened. Based on the comparison, they are calculating how much the carbon it could be released or stored. Clear? So when we compare everything, the anthropogenic activities, how it affects the climate change, you have to explain in terms of make use of statistical data along with the explanation on how these gases are behaved, how much it is coming out, how it could be contributed, how it could be measured and quantified, how it could be balanced. Everything is being assessed. Clear? Is it clear, or do you are getting confusion? Tell me, I will explain little simply. Is it clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, then we'll talk about the carbon accounting. What is meant by carbon accounting? What is the need of this carbon accounting? Because people are telling that without knowing this carbon accounting, we cannot say earlier days, even some natural disasters are coming from that, a lot of pollutant are released into the atmosphere also. It will be balanced in one or another way, they said. How it could be balanced? Without knowing that carbon accounting, we cannot say firmly this is balanced. So what are the carbon accounting? We'll see. We know that there are different forms of carbon are available, and those carbon play important role in the carbon cycle. For the main form of carbon is, we know that inorganic carbon, that is stored in the rock in the form of carbonate and bicarbonate. And organic carbon, we know that all living things, even dead animals and those things are having organic carbon. No need to discuss much about this. And carbon gases we come across everyday life is carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and methane. All these are involving in the carbon cycle. Okay, the cycle when we are talking about, we have to think about the carbon form. I have mentioned everything. They have given one small table in your book. From the rock, how much it is, from the ocean, how much it is, soil, atmosphere, land, in ascending order they have given. Only, can you imagine that we are thinking that the carbon is more from the fossil fuels, or we are telling that is from the forest fire, and another way we are telling is for power generation, and also for automobile and industry, which releases a lot of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Because of that only we have this global warming, climate change. I only said, but you see this table, there are different form of carbon is available in the atmosphere, on the earth surface, not in atmosphere, earth surface. That is in the form of, or the resource is rock, ocean, soil, atmosphere, land, plants. Okay, the plant which has very less quantity of 610 gigatons only. 610 gigatons of carbon. Atmosphere has only 750. And soils are having 1580, that is in the form of dead animals, dead plants, living plants. Altogether it is only, except land plants. Land plants they separated. And in ocean, that is in the form of sedimentation, debris, and aquatic plants, aquatic weeds, animals. Altogether it is 39,000 gigatons. But you can look at the number in rock, how many gigatons of carbon is stored. 6 crore 50 lakhs gigatons of carbon is stored in the rock. So in rock, what form of carbon is stored? Any one of you could answer to me? What form of carbon is stored in the rock? What form of carbon is stored in the rock? I myself told you a few minutes before.
Carbonates.
Carbonates and bicarbonate. Okay, good. This carbonate and bicarbonate only this 6 crore 50 lakhs tons of carbon is stored means. So can you imagine that? That much rocks are available in the world. So what could be the interpretation? We are thinking that lot of plants are there and deforestation and burning of fossil fuels. These are all only the responsible for the carbon dioxide, and we are thinking like that. Because of that only the entire ecosystem is spoiled. I could say it is spoiled. When the climate change has come, the atmosphere cannot be rectified. Then obviously we could say that the net effect of ecosystem is totally spoiled or destroyed. That is correct, okay? But most of the carbon is where it is stored in the rock only. Comparatively, very less quantity of carbon only is being cycled. Got it? So is it possible, are you thinking? Or the rock carbon will be influenced on the cycle? What could be the reason? Rock carbon could be cycled, or without that, the remaining things could be cycled. That's what this unlimited burning or uncontrolled burning of all this fossil fuel leads to this pollution you are thinking. Have you studied about the carbon cycle? I am talking with you all only. If people are not at all responding, means what could I do? Some of you are responding good. Tell me now, in the carbon cycle, are they include the rock also? What happened? Yes. Any of you, please? And also one more thing I would like to say. I told you in carbon cycle, organic carbon, inorganic carbon, and carbon gases, methane also included. See, along with the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, methane also included. But when 99.96% of all this carbon, only very little contribution is from the methane for carbon cycle. Okay. But how it could be? It cannot be compared. Where is 6 crores 50 lakhs of gigatons of carbon, where 610 gigatons of 610 gigaton itself, it is huge. Okay, we cannot compare that date. But are you thinking that that much resource is there on the earth surface in the form of rock? Yes or no? Yes. I myself answer to you people, yes. Because some of the rocks are there on the above the earth surface, some of them are in the below the earth surface, in underground. In some of the underground earth rocks are the carbonate and bicarbonate sources. So when the bicarbonate and carbonates are there, the rock weathering is taken place. What the weathering is taking place? When the rainfall is coming, whatever the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which carry over into the ozone, which is taken up by the plants. When the rain fall on the rock, what will happen? That whatever the carbonates are there in the rock, carbonate and bicarbonate, the carbon dioxide is there. When the rock is coming, the rain is coming, that is being converted into the bicarbonate. And this is a form of inorganic carbon. And already the calcium must be there in the rock. Because that rock means what? Carbonate and bicarbonate. This carbonate ion, that calls ion, both will be taken into the ocean by the river water when it rains. That is called weathering. Once it is reached into the ocean, what will happen? This calcium and bicarbonate are combinedly react in the presence of some of the organisms in the ocean, then it forms calcium bicarbonate. This calcium carbonate, which is nothing but the sheath cells. The shells means it is calcium carbonate, which is the body of many elements or plants in the sea. Those calcium carbonate, we know that over the period of time that is buried in the sediment, in the under or in the below or on the surface of the sea, then what will happen? These minerals are these basic elements in the animals or any living shells. After it is buried in the sediments, when the great temperature or pressure differences occur in any places of the under the sea, and these calcium carbonate started melting. This process is called the subduction. Or during the process of subduction, they started melting. At that time, the one tectonic plate is moves on the another. At that time, the melted rock rises to the surface in the form of magma. Clear? And whatever the carbon dioxide observed from the atmosphere, it is released back to the surface of the earth or to the atmosphere through the volcanics. In such a way, the calcium carbonate is circulated between the earth or atmosphere between the rock and the earth. So overall the period, the concentration of calcium carbonate, bicarbonate must be there. How you can retrieve from that? When the rain falls, all this comes and the calcium silicate will be sedimented at the bottom and the carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. So this is the way the carbon dioxide concentration is being maintained. And why we need to have the earth atmosphere means we should maintain whatever the death animal plants, everything after buried, the decomposition is taking place under the ground only. So when the decomposition is going on over the period, hundreds or thousands of years, after the decomposition, all these fossils are forming and out of it fossil fuels are forming. When it undergoes under certain pressure and temperature only, all those decomposition is taking place in a proper manner, makes the pressure, based on the pressure and temperature, both solid, liquid or gaseous fuels are forming, that everyone knows. For that activities, God creates naturally, gives the pressure and temperature in the ground, underground, which makes such a system to give us in the form of fossil fuel to us. Only thing is, we are misusing that fossil fuel for our unwanted comfort, and we started burning many things unwantedly. So our natural systems which God created and gave it to us, we spoiled. Whatever the are there, it is there. Whatever the natural flows of carbons are there, it is there. When we introduce by uncontrolled combustion of certain things, it increases the concentration to a certain level, and which could not be managed by the natural system, that makes the problematic to us. And we know that then human activity, which is same thing, but it around about 28 ppm of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere released only because of human induced changes that is happening about 150 years ago. That is the thing happened because of human activity. Otherwise, everything is in the balance. So a lot of carbon is stored in the rock is true. That is in the form of carbonate and bicarbonate. And some of the things goes off and in an indirect way, when the cycle is not balanced, it is being managed and utilized and balanced by the rock weathering. Rock weathering means which is nothing but when the rain happens, it weather the rock and there is a formation of bicarbonate and calcium ions. These ions are taken up to the ocean by the river water. When it goes into the ocean water, because of presence of some of the microorganisms, this calcium ion and bicarbonate ion combined, it forms calcium carbonate. And this calcium carbonate is here body structure of our body material, some of the organisms. We know that that is a chemical that is present in the shell. And when these calcium carbonate minerals are buried in the sediments after it dies, And eventually, when it undergoes for high pressure and temperature, it started melting. During the process of subduction, which is nothing but moving a one tectonic plate on the another one. And this melted rock rises up to the surface of the earth through in the form of magma when the vulcanizes happen. In such a way, the carbon is circulated between the rock, ocean, and ocean and atmosphere. So the carbon level is maintained pakka. So we no need to introduce, we no need to form anything. That is the way. But where the culprit form, because of what a culprit form, you people have to be very strong idea to how to write this. Is it clear? This is about the climate change, carbon dating, carbon balancing, carbon sources. And the next topic is global warming potential. The global warming potential is one of the important topic on subject knowledge aspect, but this question never asked. And whatever now I taught, from that, right from morning to now, from that 2 questions must be coming. Either global warming and its potential sources, or they may ask about the greenhouse gases or greenhouse effect, how it affect the environment, and anthropogenic sources, or they may ask what is carbon cycle or carbon account, any one or another way they will ask you. Clear? So global warming potential, if we start means your time is up, I think so. Raki madam is there? Ma'am, time is there or time is up?
10 minutes time is there.
4:30 na? The class?
4:45. Let me check, ma'am.
Even I don't know. Please check it. Otherwise, if you want me to start the next topic, it takes a long time.
4:45.
Again, okay. Again, I will tell you global warming potential. It is very, very important topic to know the subject. But for exam, this question will not come till now. Never asked also. So if you want me to explain, I will explain. If you don't want me to explain, we'll jump means we'll go to the ozone or acid rain. You people decide and tell me. Any one of you, what you want, we'll go ahead. What is global warming potential? Because we suppose anything we are talking, we should know what is how much, isn't it? What is that and how much is there. Now I am talking about, okay, now people have introduced some new refrigerator. I'm telling. What is the next question you will have? The new refrigerator means how far it is differ from the existing one, and what is the cost of it and how much big it is, you will ask, isn't it? These 3 questions must be there if I am talking about any new product. What is the use of it or what is the benefit of it? Like that only when we are talking about this global warming, how we can understand how much it is globally warmed. How you could find out. That is called global warming potential. Let me start or we'll discuss the old subject.
Ma'am, old subject means whatever you have told, just revise it in 10 minutes.
Sorry, okay, ma'am. And the middle, many of you are not there. I alone was there, I think so. So what you are talking, we have talked about that. What is the main principle that include in climate system? I will tell you. Climate system means what? You should understand what is climate. The climate means how the changes in concentration of atmospheric component, precipitation, temperature, all these two all together, which we can say what is the energy distribution in the atmosphere. The energy distribution is happening due by the greenhouse effect. It is a natural process. And all these natural processes are going well, then no problem at all. By alteration of some of the atmospheric gases in concentration, which raises the atmospheric temperature, at what rate it is increased, and because of the rise, what is the global impact? And because of that impact, where it is affected, how much it is affected, and what is the sources for that concentration of increase of that gases. That's what I have discussed now. Okay. And when we are talking about the energy concept, without energy, nothing can be done on the Earth surface. If you want to move from one place to another place, or movement of any biotic and abiotic things, it needs some energy to move from one place to another place. That energy we are getting from the sun in the form of solar energy, that technically called solar insolation. It's about 345 watts per meter squared where it is falling on the Earth's surface. But what according to the real fact, the falling 100% solar energy is not falling on the Earth's surface. About 30% of the solar radiation is reflected back to the space by clouds. Around 25% of the solar energy or radiation is absorbed by the atmospheric gases. The remaining 45 only it is radiated, absorbed by when it falls on the Earth's surface, it absorbs and re-radiates back to the Earth's space. When it absorbs and re-radiates to the just above the Earth's surface, what it happens that time, the falling energy is in the form of light energy. When the light energy hits on anything, it converts into the heat energy. The heat energy is re-radiates back. Due to that process, the Earth's surface Earth's surface is getting heated up or warm up. This is essential for happening any biotic and abiotic activities on the Earth's surface. So we are telling that photosynthesis is the primary process for living things. Of course, that is correct. For that photosynthesis, what is essential? Solar energy only, sunlight only essential. Without sunlight, photosynthesis will not happen. Are you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is the then this energy only, when it falls, re-radiates. This balances the energy balance year to year. And because of that, only nothing is happening. That is our prediction. But what happened? They are telling for the steady state condition, how much it could be the Earth's surface temperature. And according to the thermodynamics laws, it is predicted that based on the distance between the sun and Earth, and also the size of the Earth's surface temperature is supposed to be in an average of 18 degrees centigrade. But exactly when they have covered, including that Arctic and Antarctic region, it's supposed to be 15 degrees centigrade. But there is now the temperature might be more than 20. That's what in earlier days, in 18th century itself, people have started using standard temperature and pressure that all the chemical reaction, physical reaction are taking place at 25 degrees. They have started writing the books in 18th century onwards. Whatever the school books we have studied and our parents have studied, and now our kids and grandkids have studied, they are also studied the same thing, that they are using the 25 degree. But nowadays the temperature is in between that range only. Why this variation? The variation in temperature happened because the alteration of this temperatures happened because several gases in the atmosphere in the form of water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and some other gases in the atmosphere which absorb this radiation and it warms the Earth's surface, and because of that the temperature is started increasing. Really, these gases are absorbing this temperature radiation and it increases the temperature. How it could be confirmed means, for that the evidence are there, the ancient ice and deep ocean sediments, which illustrates that natural variability is there within the climate system over geological time. The majority of the scientific community thinks that the current acceleration of global warming, which then had driven by the anthropogenic addition of carbon dioxide through the greenhouse process into the atmosphere because of industrial revolution. That industrial revolution, don't think that only industries. You can think that industrial revolutions means all together. That means power plant also, industries also, automobile industry, everything all together. And because of this, that global surface temperature has increased by 0.6 degrees centigrade during the 20th century, they are telling. And also they are telling that 0.6 degrees centigrade is not the small value. Even a single degree change in a temperature which could produce the it produce severe impact on the earth and its ecosystem. What is that? Because of that, the sea level risen to 10 to 20 centimeter height level. Sea level is raised to 10 to 20 means you can just think about how much quantity of water it would have been increased. We cannot quantify it in gallons or gigagallons, this gallons, that gallons, in 20th century itself. Why it happened? This is happened because of melting of glacier and polar ice, as well as the thermal expansion of seawater. Why it happened? If the global temperature, we cannot heat artificially to melt the polar ice or glaciers. That is supposed to be happen naturally by increasing the global temperature. That cannot be man-made action for melting of glaciers, because we cannot do also. No one can do also. That happen automatically by increasing of global temperature. That is giving the evidence of there is a global warming, that is global temperature has increased due to this. They are showing the evidence. How much it has happened? According to the report of IPCC, in the year of 1950s, around the 20th century only, they said that around 42% of Arctic ice has been declined. 42% means it is not a small amount. We cannot say how many feet of seawater has been raised. Because of that, what I'm going to say, it is not in your book. Many lower lying areas have been immersed in seawater. We do not know how many islands or how many small countries or big countries or states, how many things are immersed in water, in which part of the world are it immersed in water also, no one could find out. And anyway, big changes will come in future. They could find out this carbon accounting concept in this particular area. This is immersed in water, then carbon dating, this, that, they may identify, they may find in future. These are all the hypothetical talk we can have. But whatever said, it will happen. And one more effect is that because of melting of Arctic ice, sea ice, which eventually lead to the global changes in the ocean thermohaline circulation. Thermohaline circulation means, thermo means temperature we know or heat. Haline circulation means alkalinity of water or salinity of water. These two are changes. When it changes, it affects the aquatic population. How it affects the aquatic population? For example, you take the seawater fish. Seawater fish can survive only in seawater. That fish cannot survive in the fresh water. Because with the system, their physiological system can survive with only seawater constitutions. If you put it in normal water, within a day it will be died. So because of the thermohaline circulation, what happened? The temperature and salinity of the water started changes. Due to that change, many aquatic population have been destroyed. And what extent it destroyed, how much it is destroyed, it cannot be accounted also. Accountability is very important everywhere when they are giving the statistical data. Whatever they can account, it could be done to some level. Beyond that, nothing is there in our hand. Like that, systems happen. So the greenhouse effect natural process naturally happen. It is essential, but when a little alteration on the concentration of greenhouse gases leads to this many effects. Clear? So what they are telling you from the IPCC, they are giving very strong evidence that this global warming is happening because of anthropogenic activities, and that in a 50% they are giving importance to that, and 50 years before that itself they have given that commitment because of this anthropogenic activity happening through the fossil fuel burning only for power generation, they have committed. That is the case means, what is the major contribution for this changes occurring in the global warming for this much changes in seawater level? So that is anthropogenic sources, they said, IPCC said. So anthropogenic sources means not all the greenhouse gases. The one of the major contributor for this greenhouse is carbon dioxide. So what level the carbon dioxide is releasing into the atmosphere, they made one small study. From that study only they are telling that for energy purpose, people are burning the fossil fuels, and through that 2/3 of the greenhouse gases are emitting into the atmosphere from the different stages of the process, from extraction to distribution and burning. In that, the significant emission of carbon dioxide is estimated, and along with the fossil fuel burning, deforestation and land use pattern, which combinedly releases 30% of the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, that they have recorded in 20th century. But IPCC are telling that without introducing any control measures in power plant, around 1,000 to 2,200 gigatons of carbon supposed to be emitted into the atmosphere. And in particular duration from 1971 to 1998, they have told that now 1.9% of the carbon dioxide is adding into the atmosphere per year, they are telling, per year. Then you can say in that 30 years, how much it could be added? Around 30%, isn't it? 1.9 means 2% approximately. That means it is around 60%. Where it goes? It will be accumulated in our environment. So now why I am talking like that? They are telling that anthropogenic activities, through that when we are following only the precursor which affecting the environment, they are telling through that only global warming comes, they are telling. That's what they are doing, the accountability. And what else then? Not only that, and also which include the population growth, urbanization, total gross domestic product, income, energy intensity, equipment and vehicle usage, and along with that, in the demand every day, all together, which changes the consumer preferences, energy and technology costs, settlement and infrastructure pattern, technical progress, overall economic condition, all together play to change the burning quantity, land use changes, and which are all responsible for the carbon dioxide emission into the atmosphere. Not only this, along with some biological activities, which leads to CO2 fertilization, nutrient deposition, climate variation, and some disturbance like forest fire and major drought, all are give the adverse effect of this CO2 emission into the atmosphere. And due to not only that, but people are having very limited information about the forest and the agricultural land management practice. The global estimates of carbon dioxide emissions from the land use, and which is based on the entire net deforestation and afforestation concept only. When they are doing like this, how much carbon is deposited or it is released, that could be measured in terms of how much carbon could be stored per hectare in forest. If you remove the forest, the same thing will be added, subtracted. If afforestation is being done, then the same quantity will be added. Like that, people are following the concept to find out the carbon storage. Altogether, when they compare, at last they are telling that, and when we are using this anthropogenic, when we are doing this anthropogenic activities, greenhouse gases are only the fact which give the positive radiative forcing effect. Positive radiative force means what I said? Increasing of global temperature. Decreasing of temperature is negative for radiative. Increasing of temperature is positive. So we cannot imagine the negative radiative forcing in our life. It will not happen also. Until or otherwise entirely we stop digging out of our underground, we cannot think about that. So the a greater concentration, all these gases which creates the enhanced greenhouse effect, because which are all observing more infrared radiation from the Earth's surface when it reflects, and they by increasing the global surface temperature, this is called global warming. So this global warming, which is nothing but which drives the climate change, which cannot be recovered back, which cannot be repaired. That is what we have discussed today about the climate change, how it covers with the other parameters. Ma'am, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? But this question must come. 99% I am sure this may come.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, the time is up. Or do you want me to tell more?
No, time up, ma'am.
Can we stop?
Yes, ma'am.
For others, anyone has any doubt, you please ask me. If you want to clarify anything, please ask me now. I can spend another 7-8 minutes with you people up to 5 o'clock. No one has any doubt. Uh-huh. Every day, day to life, you people are coming across many things about the pollution and pollutant. Any natural topics is there also we can discuss, open up. Very okay. Thanks to every one of you. We'll see in the next class. Next class, I have to cover this acid rain. Acid rain is one of the important questions. How you can reduce the acid rain? What is the impact of acid rain? Then next is, lesson is on smog. Smog is also one of the important questions. Effects of air pollution, most probably I will not take, because here and there I would have told you that what is the impact of air pollution, this air pollution, that air pollution, how it up. Then I will take the air pollution laws and standard. That is very important lesson you people must to know. But in your syllabus, very little information are there. If anything more I can say, I will tell. It depends on the time. Okay. Thanks to every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. We cannot close. They themselves will close after some time.
Okay,
We
ma'am.
we can't end the meeting. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.